Okay, so the plan here is to go through the Minilogue XD and just give you a quick start guide to it if you just got one. Hopefully this will be helpful to you. So we're going to load up some presets, have a play with those, then I'm going to show you how to use the sequencer and how to record with that, and then I'll go through each section and explain all the controls that are available. Then I'll just have a bit of a play and see what I come up with on the fly. So let's go. So the first thing is turning it on, obviously. So you got a switch at the back here and you just hold it for a second and then it turns on, and straight away it's going to tune itself. While it's doing that, you can play this little game. And then, okay, now it's tuned. Right, so straight away it loads up the first preset. So what you can do is just start turning this program dial and this will go through just all your presets. Start messing around. So what we also have on this synth is a built-in sequencer. It's a 16 step, and these are the steps here. And all these preset sounds basically are going to have something pre-programmed. So if we just press play, and then you can hear the sequence that's in there. So you've got a master tempo here, and so you can actually speed up. So we can go up to 240 BPM. Let's just check out another one. Let's check out one more. So you can see that the steps that are active are lit up, so you could just start turning things off, like just by pressing the button. And bring them back. So you can kind of perform with it. So if we just turn them all off, what you can do as well is you can record. So there you go, it just gives you an idea that you've got this sequencer and you can just quickly use it to get something going. What I'll do now is just go over the front panel. So once you've loaded up a preset, you've probably already seen I've started messing with the sounds just with some of the controls. So if we go from left to right, so you've got your master volume here, you've got your master tempo, this is the octave for the keyboard. You've got portamento, which is like glide. We've got voice modes you can have on this. You can have polyphonic. So basically it's got 4 voices. That means you can play 4 notes at the same time. And then this is how those voices are going to be used. So polyphonic is just, you can just use them sort of individually. So you can play a 4-note chord. Unison stacks them together. So basically kind of turns it monophonic, but you've got the 4 voices. Chord, it's going to make a chord just with 1 note. And then arpeggio. And the voice depth mode dial, that just lets you, for each one of these modes, it will do something different. So for the arpeggiator, it basically lets you select what kind of pattern it's doing. So you can see on the display you've got rise and fall, poly 1, random. If we go to unison, it's detune. Sync, it's the same for poly. And chord, what kind of chord you want. Okay, so moving on, next we've got the oscillators. So this synth features 2 analog VCO oscillators and 1 digital oscillator called multi-engine. That's quite complex what you can do with that. You can even program your own oscillators, which is definitely beyond the scope of this video. So for the VCO oscillators, you have the selection of 3 waveforms. We've got sawtooth, triangle and square, and then you can further change the sound with the shape dial, and then you've got fine tuning pitch, which goes an octave each way. So VCO2 is the same, and then you can do a few things with these oscillators. So you can sync them together with this switch here. What that does is it syncs up their phase, and then you've got ring modulation. If we turn up this one, and that's going to let you create more metallic sounds. And then we've got cross modulation as well, so that's going to allow oscillator 1 to modulate oscillator 2. And the more you turn up, the more it does it. And then we've got our multi-engine, and you can just, this has this switch here, so you've got user ones, and you've got noise, and then you've got these more traditional waveforms. So this is our digital, and there's a few options in here, and that also has the shape dial. So then we've got our mixer section, which is just literally the level of each oscillator. Then we've got the filter, so we've just got a low pass filter with your standard cutoff, resonance. We've got drive on that, and you can have 50% or 100%. So you can create some quite. And we've got key tracking, and we've also got 50% and 100%, and that's going to basically track the keys and affect the filter as you go higher up. Right, then we've got the envelope, so we've got a standard amp envelope, ADSR. Then we've got another envelope here which you can assign to either of the pitches here or the cutoff dial. And then we have our LFO, and you've got the choice of the same waveforms as the oscillators, and you can decide what kind of mode. So you can either have the frequency of the LFO be synced to the sequencer BPM. There's just normal mode, and then one shot just does 1 cycle and then stops. We can also use the LFO on the pitch or the shape or the cutoff. And then lastly we have the effects section. So basically we have delay effects, reverb effects and modulation effects. So you sort of select which one you want, you go to reverb, and then you just sort of use this dial to push up and go through the different types. So we can do space, and then you can turn up the depth. Let's just make a random patch. So if you actually go to your presets, if you go backwards, you will go into probably some init programs. And they'll probably just sound like that, just a basic sawtooth. So if you come to the mixer section, basically turn down everything apart from VCO1, and then you can sort of select a waveform. And then we'll turn up another oscillator. We'll slightly detune that. Just try adding some of this modulation. Give it a bit of release. And then we'll modulate the shape with normal mode. Try and add some effects. And then we'll use the sequencer to play something in. I'm just getting pretty experimental here. So just quickly, I guess some other cool features you can do is you've got motion. What that does is it lets you record automation. So if I play the sequence, press record, let's say I want to record this resonance. So you can see it's recorded that. And you can actually do this with four different things. So I can try the depth. There we go, and what shall I try? Getting real small. Alright, I'm going to abandon it there.